Hi, everybody. I'm Bessie. It's nice to officially meet you guys after 4 semesters of grad school. I'm really excited to introduce you to my campaign that I've been working on all semester. I really focused on reducing the rate of obesity in the United States, specifically in North Carolina, which is where I live. My target audience is actually obese full-time employees in North Carolina who are in the contemplation stage, meaning this group are ready to act. They're gonna do something within the next 6 months. So I thought this was a great group to target because I feel like I fit into this group. And I thought about this campaign way back in August, just thinking about things that I needed to change, that I didn't think there was a campaign for. So I stuck to the topic that I chose in August. And in doing some research on this, I found that 1/3 of the US adults have obesity. That's crazy. I also found out that obesity was designated as a disease in 2013, which is pretty recent. So I think that it's kind of on everybody's radar now. I found out that North Carolina has the 16th highest adult obesity rate in the nation, which is at 31.8%, which is right around the 1/3 of adults in the nation. I also found out a whole other list of diseases that are linked to obesity, which everybody already knows that diabetes is and hypertension is, which I have. I have high blood pressure. And so it certainly doesn't help that, I'm at work all day sitting. But people that are obese, they're also suffering from arthritis, high cholesterol, tobacco use, obesity-related cancers, depression, and the list goes on and on and on. So I think we really need to do something about it. I also looked up how much it's costing us. And I found out that the disease, obesity, costs more than $190 billion annually in weight-related medical bills. That's billion, $190 billion a year. And obese people have annual medical costs that are 37% higher than their healthy weight counterparts. That's almost double, 37%. So it's serious. And when I was looking at obesity, I thought about the workplace because it's where I am all day. And for those full-time employees, they're spending 40 hours a week, Monday through Friday, 8 hours a day in their workplace. That comes up to 1/3 of their work week that they're at work. And for those people that are just sitting behind a desk, that's alarming. That's a long time each week to just sit, which is kind of what I do in my job. I have a computer, it's a desktop computer. I can't unplug it and take it with me. I also have a phone that I have to be responsible for answering, and it's attached to the wall. It's not a cell phone, so I have to stay around my desk all day. And that's a long time each week to just be sitting at your desk. So I wanted to do something about it. And I think that everybody at work that is just sitting should want to do something about it. So that's where I got the idea for my campaign. Again, I'm focusing on obese adults who are full-time in the workplace, who are in the contemplation stage. And when I thought about what I wanted them to do, you look at every behavior they have. And I really thought that reducing the amount of time that they're sitting at one given time was the best place to start. So that's what we're trying to get them to do. My campaign is actually called Move It to Lose It. So by moving their body, they will lose the weight and hopefully reduce the rate of obesity. When looking at other campaigns to see what they had done to find opportunities to leverage, I found that Michelle Obama had did the Let's Move campaign, which actually, was for childhood obesity. But there's a lot of great stuff in her campaign that I thought we could use. I also found a JustStand.org campaign that's promoting the sit-stand desks that I'm sure most of you guys have seen in the workplace or heard about. I don't currently have one yet, but I would love one. So I saw that campaign and did a little bit of research about it. I also found Get Britain Standing, which is Britain's national campaign to combat adult obesity. And they have hashtags to promote it on social media, which I think is great. They have hashtag sit less, hashtag move more. I would really like to kind of take advantage of some of that. They also have a national day, and it's called an On Your Feet Day to try to get people to stand more. And I thought that was great. I also thought about everybody buying Fitbits and using their Apple Watch to track how many miles they walked and the calories burned and the steps that they've taken as a great opportunity for the campaign. Those were such a hot item this year for Black Friday. Everybody was talking about they were on sale everywhere and where to get their smartwatches. So I saw that. But I also saw some threats that we needed to be prepared for. There's workplace culture. In my office, I'm one of the youngest, and the people that are there, they're just used to sitting at their desks all day. So if I say, hey, I'm going to get up and stretch my legs and walk around the hallway, they look at me like I'm crazy. Like, you should be sitting at your desk. What are you doing? Getting up and walking around. So that's one of the threats that we need to prepare for is the established workplace culture. Also, the use of technology, like I said, sitting behind my desk, at my computer, by my phone. We're all using technology. I can hear my coworkers from one end of the hallway to the other end of the hallway pick up the phone and call the other person instead of just getting up and walking to their office. That they're calling each other from their offices to ask a question. So the use of technology definitely is a threat for the campaign. So I have explained the audience, the behavior, threats, and opportunities. I do want to explain, the position statement, which we need to keep in mind throughout the campaign. And mine is for the campaign that we want obese full-time employees in North Carolina who are in the contemplation stage to see that reducing the amount of time that they sit at their desk at one time as an easy way to help them have more energy, lose weight, or become motivated to lose weight. So I think that is important to keep in mind throughout my campaign, which will take place at work. I think that's the best place to target them. This is the best place. They're all there together, so we can monitor it and measure it and make sure that we're on the right track with the campaign. I think the campaign should have a video at the beginning of the campaign. I want to make sure that everybody's aware of the statistics that I found, how alarming the rate is, what it's related to, the other health risks, how much money it's costing, how much time these people are taking off from work. They're sick, they're missing time at work. So I want them to be made aware of all of the health risks involved. I want them to learn about the campaign, and I think that having primary care physicians either come in and talk to them or be part of the video is a great influential person or people to use for the campaign. I know a lot of people don't make doctor's appointments just to go ask about that sort of thing. They only go when there's a problem related to it. So I think that is great. I also think that higher up people in the workplace would be really influential people. I work at ECU. Our chancellor, which is kind of like our president of the university, his name is Cecil Staten, and I think he would be a great influential person at ECU, where I work, to get people motivated. I think they would listen to him. Also, ECU is part of the UNC system in North Carolina, which some of you maybe are aware of. I'm sure you guys have heard of UNC Chapel Hill, UNC Charlotte, UNC Wilmington, Elizabeth City State University is part of it. App State is part of it. So there's a lot of schools that are part of this UNC system. And the president of the UNC system is Margaret Spellings, which some of you may know. She was the Secretary of Education from 2005 to 2009 under President Bush. She's a huge influential person to use. She would be great. And I think she would really get involved when it has to do with all of these state employees in the UNC system. So I think that would be a great place to start. I think having competitions at work where people can keep track of how many hours they've stood, have prizes for the winners. You know, I think that that is a great thing to do. They could do gift cards maybe for those that increased their standing the most or had the most hours for that week or month. I think that would be great. I also think that there should be a pledge that they sign in the workplace they can hold on to. That's a great way to remind them of the campaign, or get an email from one of these influential people just recognizing them, I think would help. I also think partnering with the companies like the Fitbit, which I mentioned earlier, would be a really great way to decrease monetary costs for the desired behavior. And I think that one of those companies would want to get involved with something like this, especially for a statewide campaign. I think it would be great. Again, everything would take place at work. I think that if we had former obese employees that could talk about their experiences, losing weight, overcoming their struggles, I think that would help motivate others. I think that there's a lot of great stuff in my campaign, but, you know, evaluating it would definitely help us make sure that we're on the right track, that there's nothing that we need to change. But I think it's something that should definitely be addressed. There's not a national campaign or a statewide campaign at this point to get their employees up and moving around so they lose weight. So that's my campaign. It was great seeing you guys, I guess. I'll see you next semester. Thanks. Bye.